Now, why they thought the south would survive where the north wouldn't, I don't know. But you see, it's in here now. Either this is written after the fact, which is possible, or it's just they know it's coming. Okay, 12. More. Is this guy angry about Ephraim? I mean, is he beating anyone else over the head? Ephraim, 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 Ephraim. That's why I emphasized Ephraim. I like Ephraim personally. Joshua was the hero of Ephraim. I don't get all worked up about poor Ephraim, what they were doing there, any more than I get worked up about what people do in Newport Beach. You know, I mean, it's not something that I can control, and that I feel has to be, everyone has to die because of it and so on. But the prophet took things very seriously, and Ephraim is the butt of their accusations.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
He keeps associating the north with the golden calf, but doesn't it say earlier that Joshua was the only one that didn't have anything to do with the golden calf?
Yeah, good point. Yeah, but the priesthood of the north is the ones betraying.
Okay.
The priesthood, Aaron is the priest.
Okay.
Now, priests are everywhere, and they're in the temple. I'm sure they're making Aaronite claims in the temple in the north as well as the south. So it isn't, the priests everywhere are making Aaronite claims, descendants of Aaron. So it's the priests that are, yeah, that's a good point, very good point. The priests are misleading the people, and maybe the Moses story is saying, yes, but our real hero wouldn't have done that.
Well, wasn't it after the Davidic monarchy, when it split, didn't the northern tribes change like holidays and certain traditions and stuff?
I don't think so.
Because I read that in the Friedman book that they did.
I don't
they
know.
changed like the capital, like instead of being Jerusalem, they made.
Yeah, they changed the, well, yeah, but it was earlier that way. It isn't that they just went back to a previous time. I don't think that they were rebelling. Jerusalem was never the capital. That's a more recent thing than what they did. It just couldn't hold it together. In other words, what they did was they just went back to the old style of living. They didn't like unification under Judah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what Friedman says. You know, that's Friedman. You know, he's not the God. He's not our God. You know, he just wrote a book. There may be some, but if you, I don't. That can that's the problem. That can mislead you. You have to take the text yourself. Don't listen to Eisenman, Friedman, I don't care who. You relate to it yourself, and it seems to me that the northern tribes didn't like the forced reunification under the Davidic monarchy, and they never recognized the temple of Jerusalem. The reason we recognize the temple is because Judah survived and they didn't. If it was up to them, the temple would have been in Shechem, where the Samaritans still claim it should be, or in Bethel, or in, don't forget, before the temple, even in the Samuel books, Eli, the priest, is in Shiloh, which is another place near Shechem, a northern tribe. There's, by the way, Jewish settlements in Shiloh. If you go visit them, they're really beautiful. It would be a shame for them to uproot those settlements. Really the same. They're not even settlements, they're little towns. They're like going to Mission Viejo or something. You know, it's absurd to call them, they're like settlements. People think it's a tent. It's not. You call Mission Viejo a settlement, you know, it's absurd to think of that. So I'll turn back to the clock. But Shiloh is one of the settlements, as it were, and it's a beautiful place. And the original priesthood was in Shiloh, from what we can see. Samuel went to Shiloh, he was given to the priests. Those priests would have made Aaronite claims. Eli would have made an Aaronite claim. So that's an interesting point. The story is saying, no, Joshua is not involved in this. You're right.
But they keep saying Ephraim, and isn't Joshua a descendant of
Well, yeah, but Joshua's not responsible for the fact that Ephraim's a backslider.
So they associate Joshua with the north?
Well, Joshua is the father, is an Ephraimite. He's not the father of Ephraim. Joseph's the father of Ephraim. He is a descendant of Ephraim. Doesn't mean Joshua's responsible. Hey, look, I live in Orange County. I'm not responsible for the whole sins of Orange County. So, but it's something to think about. It's a good point. Anyway, around me are the lies. I want to get through this before we go. Around me are the lies of Ephraim, the deceit of Israel, but God still recognized Judah. You see, that's what I've been pointing out. It's been a constant theme. Occasionally we get them all lumped together, but on the whole, it's the north that's coming in for the big time punishment. Wouldn't you say? From the prophets. And Israel and Judah is getting away pretty scot-free, and the Davidic monarchy is high on their list of pluses. Ephraim feels the wind, chasing the wind from the east, making treaties with Assyria, sending oil to Egypt. Yahweh has a case against Israel, and Hosea is supposed to be a northern prophet. He will pay Jacob as his conduct merits. He will repay him as his deeds deserve. In the very womb he supplanted his brother. And now he's coming back to the Genesis story of was it Jacob and Esau wrestling in the womb? But he didn't supplant his brother. Esau came out first, didn't he? Wasn't Esau the older brother and Jacob the younger brother, as I recall?
Jacob was the one who grabbed Esau's heel, pulled him back in, and then...
What, Jacob got out first? And there's a little bit about that Peretz and Zerah birth too, with the red finger, you know. So these stories are like kind of a little bit, I don't know, I mean, and so you think in that, anyway, he knows the story, right?
Or he came out like holding on.
Yeah, he came out, and then, but anyway, he knows that he knows the story of the birth of Jacob and Esau. So that's another to show that those are old stories, right? Okay, and he knows the wrestling with against God. He knows that story. Now, this may be later. I can't prove anything. You have to be the one to decide. I want you to be you should be the judge, not me. It's your book, it's your life, it's your intellect, it's your spirit. You have to do what is suitable to yourself. And if you like these stories, materials, then you have to evaluate them. So you have to decide, is this an authentic 7th century BC text, or someone writing some of this stuff a little later in here? I don't know. If this is authentic, that means he knows all those stories. About wrestling with an angel. He wept and pleaded with him. He met him at Bethel. He knows all the Genesis stories, you see. And God spoke to him. And Yahweh, God of Sabaoth, you always turn again then to your God. Hold fast, love justice. Always put your trust in God. Ephraim, you see, is rich. That's his main sin. He's successful economically. He's done, you know, it's been a pretty good place till the Assyrians came and laid it waste. I have been Yahweh your God since the days of the land of Egypt. I will make you live in tents again, as on the day of the meeting. I will speak to the prophets. I will increase the visions. Line 12, 11 and 12, the number's bit off here. Gilead is nothing but iniquity. There's false and nothing else. Gilgal, they sacrifice bulls. Their altars shall be reduced to heaps of stone and plowed field. Gilgal is a pagan-like shrine. Gilead has not disappeared yet, although, yeah, I guess it is. No, it's still there, but it's disappearing quick. Jacob fled the plains of Aram. That's where he started out there in northern Syria. Israel worked